G'day guys, Blake here with another video, and I'm often asked how to light large tanks and deep tanks and other tanks that might have certain limitations if you were going to try and use a standard aquarium light. I've talked about creative ways of lighting tanks before, especially to attempt to grow plants, and today's video is going to be no different. So let's jump straight into the video and talk about using grow lights such as this one in your aquarium. Let's jump straight into the video. Okay, so before we get started, I always like to be transparent with these things, and this light panel here was sent to me free of charge. That said, I have no obligation to say anything in particular. Any opinion that I give is my own, and there's no script to follow or anything like that. So Bestford reached out a few months ago and they said, hey, we've got this grow light panel. It really works well to grow plants. Would you like to get your hands on it, play around with it, and then maybe do a video on it? I said, sounds great. I'm always looking for creative ways to light tanks. Now, depth is really difficult to light. If you have a standard like eBay light or a Fluval 3.0, whatever you choose to light your planted tanks, you'll probably notice if you've got a tank that is about this depth or more, which is 45 centimeters or 18 inches, that it's just really hard to especially grow foreground plants, carpeting plants, and all that sort of thing. So I've always in the past recommended floodlights, but floodlights do have limitations. You can pick them up fairly readily, but usually they have super tiny cords and there's no adjustability. You're also limited with the spectrum that the floodlight manufacturer has set it to, and usually that's a very cool white color. Well, this panel here is made to grow plants. It's a hydroponic panel or a grow panel, so it's definitely more of a warmer spectrum. I'd say about 6,000 kelvins or so. If I'm wrong, I'll put a correction on the screen. But the good thing about this guy is that it is 100% dimmable. So we've got a dimming knob here, which my camera's probably going to struggle to keep up with the exposure on that one. But I've only got it running about 10 or 20%. So it is a super powerful light. It's actually up to 2000 watts, but running it on 10 or 20%, obviously we're not going to utilize all that power. That's really good as well for the longevity of the fixture, because if you're not running it at 100%, it's gonna not burn out, or you're probably not gonna have LEDs fail and all that sort of thing. You'll probably get a much more extended lifetime. The good news as well is that if we search a website, you can find that as well as this 2000 watt version, there's a 1000, a 4000, a 600, a 400, and a 200 watt version. There's heaps of different options available. I recommend checking out the website for yourself. That said, if I do get crazy one day and decide to custom build a 3-foot deep aquarium or something like that, I can definitely crank it up and it will certainly suit pretty much any tank's needs, except for the smaller ones. In fact, the coverage of a light like this is said to be about 4 foot by 5 foot, which is absolutely huge. For me, a bit of extra ambient light in a fish room is no big deal, but maybe if you had it in a bit of a bedroom or something like that, it could be a bit distracting if you're trying to study or do other things in there. So this one in particular costs about $200, and it comes with a country-specific plug, which I'm always going on about companies needing to do that. This company is of course based in China, but I don't think that's generally a big deal. It arrived to me really quick and safely, well packaged, and all those sorts of things. Couple of good specs about this. It uses Samsung LEDs, so obviously very high quality. They're not going to fail immediately. And it also has pretty good heat dissipation as well, so it doesn't really get too hot or anything like that. I'm perfectly comfortable hanging it up on this timber stand here right in front of me. So unfortunately, in terms of what's proven to grow plants in this video, well, this tank here behind me is the one that sprung a leak, and I had to sort of restart it, reseal it, and all those sorts of things. But in the meantime, while I waited for that silicone to seal itself up, I actually placed my little grow out container here, which contains some terrestrial and aquatic plants in it. And most of them weren't doing too well, because during the house move that I recently had, I sat them really in the dark in the garage, so they were looking pretty bad. But now, since just sitting under the Bestford LED grow panel for a few days, it's definitely seemed to have bounced back, and you got some nice vibrant reds there with the AR Mini. So in terms of confidence to grow plants, super confident with this panel's ability to grow plants. In terms of actually specifically getting reds out of it, maybe we'll have to turn the intensity up a little bit. and maybe dose some iron, but I'm very confident that we'll be able to grow plants with this light. I will revisit that in the future, so if you are curious to see the specifics around it, or you're a bit hesitant before jumping straight in, then hit the subscribe button. I'll do another video on it in the future. But there's heaps of adjustability, so I'm confident that we can get some CO2 in there, maybe turn the light up a little bit and just really start to get this tank humming along. So in summary, you can absolutely use grow panels to grow plants in your aquariums, and actually it's a great way to do it in deeper tanks and larger tanks. They offer more adjustability than floodlights and other alternatives, and they'll definitely get the penetration in the water. The other added benefit is that they are purposefully built to grow plants. Whether that is terrestrial or whether we're going to use it for aquatic, at least you know that it's going to have all the different wavelengths of light that plants need to photosynthesize. So I think that it's a really good hack for growing plants in larger aquariums. As well as that, if you get them, usually they're really powerful, so make sure you get one with some adjustability, like this Bestfil one here. And for the price tag of $200, it'll last you years and years and years, and at the end of the day, that's what some of us are paying for a 2-foot or a 3-foot Fluval 3.0. So there you go, guys. I'll have the links down below if you did want to check out some of the technical specs for yourself, or maybe pick one up. I'll also ask them for a discount code, and if they give me one, I'll drop it down below with the link as well. Maybe you can get a bit of a discount. But other than that, I just wanted to open your eyes today about some different ways that you can grow plants in larger aquariums, and hopefully this video has helped. If it has, it always helps me to smash like, hit subscribe, and all that fun stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.